Dear Chanel, you have lost the plot from all of your not very, very wealthy handbag lovers. Hello, welcome back. Yes, there has been another Chanel price increase, and at this point it's kind of like price increases happen. Why are we talking about them? We're bored about talking about them. They're not a big deal. We know they're coming. They come all the time. They're kind of predictable at this stage. So why am I talking to you about a Chanel price increase? I generally don't make videos on price increases unless there is something in them that I just think blows my mind a little bit. I just think is such a big increase, or for a certain piece it's a crazy amount of money. And the last time I made one of these videos and spoke to you all about price increases was whenever the Louis Vuitton price increase took the mini pochette to, I think, £515 at that time. And I just found that a little bit mind-blowing for this little tiny small canvas pouch to be £515. And I think that's actually gone up again since then and is now even more expensive. When I bought mine, I think it was around about 180, and that was the last time that I thought this is a bit nuts. And then Chanel had their price increase overnight, and I checked it this morning and thought, this is a bit nuts. This is a bit mental. These prices are now getting to the point of the crazy. These are getting to the point of the very, very wealthy can afford them and not many other people can. And let's talk about if that's what Chanel wants, if that's what their incentive is, if that's what their planning is. Let's talk about them trying to rival the Hermes brand and their prices, and then let's have a look also at what the prices were yesterday and what they are now, and we'll look at those in dollars, UK, sterling, and also in euro. And let's start with dollars. Now I will have on the screen a couple of charts, and they are credit to Pursebop, which is a blog on the internet, which is a very, very, very good resource if you're interested in luxury or handbags or anything like that. Check them out, and they will have a lot of very informative blog posts if you're looking for any of the latest news. And they have very kindly put these together into a very usable table, and I will put them on the screen, and I'll put a few screenshots on the screen as well as to what the prices are, because I'm going to be honest, when I looked at the prices yesterday and I took a screenshot, we'd all heard this price increase was coming and we'd heard it was going to be in the region of 13 to 15%. I kind of looked at the prices of, for example, the medium classic flap and thought, it can't. Like, look at the price it is already. In UK, it was already £7,550, and we're talking about the medium classic flap, which is this one. So that was already £7,500. It was already 8,800 US dollars plus tax, and it was already €9,000, 8,990. That's a huge amount of money. So when I looked at those yesterday, I thought, can't be another 13 or 15%. This is just getting crazy. Am I eating my words? Because I was very wrong and the predictions were very, very right. So a few weeks ago, one of you guys had reached out to me and told me that you were aware there was going to be a euro price increase of in and around 13%, and we were talking about it at that time. And I had spoke to a few of you on Instagram and DMs privately, and the kind of consensus was they can't keep doing this and they may be small increases, but they have came and they have came hard. Let's look at the prices. So in US dollars, the small medium classic flap yesterday, and obviously a lot of the states in the US will be plus tax. Yesterday it was 8,200 US dollars. This morning it is 9,600 US dollars plus tax for the small. That is an increase of $1,400 and 17%. The medium, which is the black one we were just looking at, was $8,800. It is now $10,200, which is a $1,400 increase and a 16% increase. The jumbo flap, I don't have it. It is the bigger one than this, was $9,500 yesterday, and it's now 11,000 US dollars. $1,500 increase, 16%. In the UK, I would shop between the UK and euro, so both of these price increases will impact upon me. The small yesterday was £7,090. Today, it's £8,180. That's a lot of money. £1,090 increase, 15.4%. The medium, which is this one, yesterday was £7,550. Today is £8,530. £980 increase, 13%. The jumbo, £8,140 yesterday. £9,240 today, £1,100 increase, 13.5%. Now, when I bought this, I bought the medium, and I will give you euro prices in a second, but I bought this in December 2019 in London, so I bought this one in sterling. At the time, it was the most expensive bag I had ever bought. I remember I was buying this for a professional goal that was really quite significant. I had been saving for it for that occasion. I could have probably bought it earlier and saved a few price increases, but I wanted it to mark that specific occasion. I remember going into Chanel in Bond Street and asking specifically for this. I knew exactly what I wanted, and it was in and around £4,500, £4,500. And I remember thinking, am I nuts? Am I crazy? That is such a huge amount of money. I can't spend that on a bag. Having to rationalise it with myself. Now, yes, I get the irony. I have caught up. I have caught up in the world of handbag shopping. And yes, I get that there's some very expensive bags here. But at the time, this was very much my most expensive bag. And I was a bit bulking at the £4,500. That is now £8,500, £4,000 increase since December 2019, and we are only at the start of March 2023. That is such a huge increase in these bags. Let's look at euro. Small was €8,450 yesterday. Today it is €9,300. The euro actually has the smallest percentage increase. That's an €850 increase, and it is 10%. I'm going to assume that the increases in euro aren't quite a significant percentage because the exchange rate and where the euro has been sitting against both the dollar and the pound. The medium was €8,990. Now, I will put in footage if I still have it. I was in Dublin not that long ago, and I fell in love with the bright yellow classic flap, and I ended up buying, it's over there, the bright yellow saddlebag instead. But I fell in love with the bright yellow classic flap. I tried it on. I thought it was beautiful. It was so stunning. The colour was just perfect, and I was very, very tempted. But at the time, I couldn't justify €8,990, effectively €9,000. I just couldn't pay that for that bag. I just couldn't do it. Well, I definitely couldn't do it now, because it's now €9,700, and that's a €710 increase and a 7.9%. Huge, huge numbers. When I bought this classic flap behind me, this is the 19S Iridescent Pink, which was a very limited and sought after bag. I bought that pre-loved. I bought that at a premium at the time because that colour was so hard to find. Now, the price that I paid for that is well below retail, which is crazy, because at the time I remember talking to myself about paying over retail and how much it was over retail, and now it's so far below retail, it's blowing my mind a little bit. But that is the reality of shopping Chanel at the minute. And I suppose, why am I talking to you about this? Because as I said, price increases happen. We know they're going to happen. They're kind of getting a bit boring at the minute, but these are just at such a level that I wanted to talk, basically. They're such a level. They're so high for these bags. Worth is relative, but for me, I have to say, when it comes to the classics, and there has been an increase in all of the other bags, I very much like the mini bags, the seasonal bags. Those have also increased, but the percentage and dollar amount of the increase is much less than the percentage increase than it is on the classics. So for me, I can say now for the classics, I am out. When I unboxed that, where am I going? Here, this one. When I unboxed that one, I did say that was probably my last classic flap. I can tell you now it is. Unless I buy one pre-loved that's at much below retail, I cannot pay £8,500 for a Chanel classic flap. I just can't. I'm lucky enough and fortunate enough to have two of them. I am out. When it comes to the Chanel classics, be it the small, the classic flap or the jumbo, I cannot buy those anymore. I will not buy those anymore. It's not even, I suppose there would be a time when I could physically buy it because I have bought the Birkin, let's be honest. I have spent that crazy sort of money because I be crazy. But for the Chanel classics, luckily I have what I have. I'm not buying anymore. I am not buying the small, medium or the jumbo because at these prices I am simply priced out for what they are, and I just could not justify that sort of money. Now, I am not sitting here at all wanting sympathy. Absolutely not. Take a look around me. That would be ridiculous. I am not saying, oh, I can't afford this, because let's be honest, this is a luxury bag. Nobody needs these. It's a choice. It's a luxury. And I'm not saying, oh, woe is me, I don't earn enough to buy another classic flap, because that would be pretty nonsensical. But what I am saying, I am very fortunate in what I have in my life. I am very blessed in what I have in my life. And I am very blessed that we are in a comfortable financial position. I have talked about having different financial goals this year and focusing focusing on different financial aspects of life. But what I can tell you is, regardless of what the bank may say, I'm not buying one of these because I'm not spending £8,500 on one. I suppose that's a lot easier for me to say because I have bags and I have 2 classic flaps, so it's easier for me to say that and make that decision. I completely own that and I get that, but I just, for the price of them, I cannot ever see me buying another Chanel classic in a small, medium or large. And that was even before this in price increase because I loved the yellow one. I just couldn't bring myself to spend that amount of money on it. Now let's talk about what we think Chanel are doing. I do think, and I think there's been a lot of discussion about this over the past while, that Chanel have been trying to price out customers to their classic bags that are like probably you and I, because they're very wealthy that these figures won't notice if it's £1,000 more or less. They're buying lots of Chanel and they're buying ready to wear and they're buying the whole variety of the Chanel brand. Probably this won't even hit their radar that there has been a £1,000 price increase. It won't impact them or what they can do. I'm not in that bracket. I am not. And I would say the vast majority of people who are handbag enthusiasts like myself that are watching these videos and watch handbag YouTube and feel excited about it and get interested in it and want to see the new bags probably aren't those type of people. Probably aren't the people that are so very, very wealthy that they can buy whatever they want without thinking about it. And that is where there has been a belief for a long time that Chanel is trying to get their bags, their classic bags specifically. They are trying to outprice the people like myself that save for a bag or work for a bag and then can afford it and it's a big achievement. They probably are trying to aim those more at the very, very wealthy. And for me, I can say that's what they've done. They've succeeded in that. They have reached that I am now priced out of those. And there is a thinking that they're trying to price to the very wealthy. And they're trying to make their bags more exclusive. They're trying to make them Hermes level exclusive, and we'll talk about that. They're trying to make them for their very wealthy customers, because we've also seen in Chanel boutiques quite a bit of the classics not being available, the classic colours not being available. We all know they're in the back shelves and we all know that they're out the back somewhere, but they're not being made available to anyone who just walks into the boutique. Think about when the heart bag came out. Think of some of the other specific bags that have been very sought after. Think about the black classic flap that can be very hard to get. A lot of people can't just walk into the boutique and they are available for them to buy. They're trying to get a bit more like Hermes in that respect. And whenever you see that happening, that has to tie in with the belief that they're trying to keep certain bags and certain levels of their shopping to the very wealthy and the very exclusive and the very high level spenders that I have to admit that I am not. There was rumours not that long ago they might have certain boutiques or have certain venues that were just for certain VIP clients. I'm certainly not one of those, and I wouldn't be getting an invite into one of those, and that's where I think they are now with this price level. Let's also talk about them trying to rival Hermes, and I am lucky enough to have one Birkin in my life. The Jumbo in American dollars, I believe, is now more expensive than the Birkin. The Jumbo in the UK is now more expensive than the Birkin. Obviously there's variance in the Birkins. There will be certain certain materials where the price will go up and down. But if you're looking at, I don't want to say standard, but if you're looking at a standard leather Birkin like what I have, the price now of the Jumbo and the UK dollar, or UK and the dollars, and probably the euro as well, is now more than what the Birkin is. And there has been lots of discussions recently on how Chanel are trying to rival Hermes. They're trying to get as exclusive as Hermes. They're trying to get their bags as exclusive as Hermes, that they're hard to get, that you're paying a huge amount of money on them, that you have to be a loyal customer to get them. And that is sneaking more and more and more into Chanel. And this level price increase certainly ties into that and puts them at the level of those type of prices or bags. But there is a huge difference between Chanel and Hermes. Hermes are handmade bags by leather artisans who I understand train for a long time before they're allowed to make one of these bags by themselves. The quality of Hermes, I have one. I am lucky to have one. I used to hear and watch these videos talking about the quality of Hermes versus Chanel and think, well, can it really be that? The quality of Hermes is second to none, and I have to accept that. And I love Chanel. I love Chanel bags, although these prices, no more classics. The quality of these are excellent. The aftercare is excellent. Now, I bought mine through a reseller because I was not offered one from the boutique, which is obviously Hermes marketing. Looks like Chanel are trying to get a bit like that. But the quality of this bag is fabulous. It is handmade. They are more limited in quantity than what the Chanel bags are. And if Chanel are going to rise their prices to the level of Hermes, which is what they seem to be doing, they're going to need to raise their quality. They are going to get their bags ranking with Hermes, meaning that you do not go into a boutique and see a crooked Chanel classic flap where the flap is up here and down here. We've all seen them. We've all seen the photographs where they're crooked, or where there are bits of the caviar missing, or where there are bits of it falling off the Chanel 22 bag, which admittedly is not at the classic flap price, but still expensive, bits falling off. They're going to have to get their quality and their craftsmanship and how they make their bags to rival Chanel if they're going to go to these prices. I say they're going to have to, but they're not really, because we all think they should do that. We all think if they are going to be pricing the same as Hermes, they should have the same quality. But we also all know that when it comes to launch day, or when it comes to matriarch, or when it comes to specific bags, there's still going to be a queue outside Chanel around the block, and you're still not going to be able to get the bag that you may have been interested in, regardless of the price increases. And that is without them increasing their quality. There are still going to be huge amounts of people that want to buy these. There's still going to be a lot of amount of people that's just what they want. And if that's what you want, that's what you buy. So they're still going to get the customers. They're still going to get the queues, regardless of the issues with the quality, and regardless of where they put their prices. So that is a breakdown of the price increase from yesterday to today in sterling, in US dollar, in euro, the amount of the increase, the percentage of the increase, where I'm at with buying Chanel, which is out for Chanel classics because that money is just so huge now. And I appreciate that I spent a huge amount of money on this, but this was the one of these that I wanted. I was prepared for that. I am fortunate in what's in this room, and I will not be buying more classics at these prices. Minis, seasonal bags, if they don't get the crazy increases, may still be achievable, but those classics just aren't. That's where I'm at with thinking about the Chanel price increase. That's what they've went up to. That's the percentages. Thank you to Pursebop for their they prepared, which has been on the screen. Let me know what you think of these. Are you out? Are you out of Chanel? Is this done for the classics for you? That's also taking a look at where we think Chanel is going with this, where we think they're going with their prices, what I think they're trying to do, what I think they're trying to do with rivaling Hermes, what I think of their quality. I hope this has been informative for you. I hope it hasn't bored you so stupid, because I know that we all talk about price increases and how they're coming, and we know they're coming, so stop talking about them and get on with them. But this one was just so high. The figures are so much money that I just wanted to come on and talk to you. So I hope it has been mildly entertaining and informative. If it has, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do consider subscribing. Thank you so much for being here. Please take care, and I will see you again in the next one.